Is this on? What up? Oh my gosh, this is so cool. I'm like, wow, this is happening. Okay. Hi, I'm Jess. Um, this is my first pod ever, including like my own pod or being a guest on a pod. And you can see this is my studio down here. I have a really big studio space where I have clients who come to pick up items and come for consultations. And I decided to build out this little spot behind me for when guests come on for the pod. And really excited to chat today. So this is really just a quick little episode about me. Get to meet me. Welcome to the Just Press Play. Oh wow, forgot to say that. What up? Welcome to Just Press Play. I'm Jess. It is so fun to be here. I had this idea a few months ago, and you can call me like woo woo or whatever, but I'm very spiritual. And I was doing like a meditation, which like I don't even do often because I can't concentrate. And I just like this popped into my head, and I just ran with it. If you know me, you know that like I get an idea in my head, and I just like have to do it. Especially when it's something I'm obviously passionate about. But for this, like I've kind of been letting it marinate and didn't want to rush it and really held myself back. And I'm very excited about it. So welcome to Just Press Play. And let's just shoot the shit with a quick little intro episode to tell you what I'm going to talk about. So, I really had this idea that I wanted to talk to other small business owners like myself and learn about how they started a podcast. That's not what I meant to say. How they started their businesses, like really growing their businesses, where their ideas came from, and then like just talk about life. Like, let's talk about shit. Let's talk about mental health. Let's talk about like how are you feeling today? Have like what's been going on in your life? Like, have you had things that have come up in your life and that have just like put you on different paths? And like let's get real, because so much of social media is just photos that are beautiful, and like that's great, and that's so much of what my Instagram is, but like that's not real, and I try to keep it real as much as possible. Let's just be honest. And I try to do that all over my own Instagram, and talk about the hardships, because honestly, at the end of the day, that is what helps me. When I see other people that maybe have struggles in the same way that I do, I'm like, oh my God, okay, it's not just me. I'm not alone, because I tend to get into my head. So I'm really excited about this. I have my little handy dandy notebook here that I took some notes on. So, kind of give you an intro about me. Obviously, I'm Jess. I'm the business owner of the Jess Press, which is an invitation and design studio based in Middletown, New Jersey. We live here. We've been living in Middletown for about 10 years. Love it so much. I'm so happy to be part of the community here. Even though I don't have a storefront, because I'm not a store in that way, I'm just so happy to be a business in this town. And I just love it and can't imagine being anywhere else. So I primarily work in weddings. I do events as well, but like basically in the same realm as weddings, like showers and engagements, stuff like that. As a background about me, I have my BFA in graphic design and illustration from Georgian Court University. Go Lions. And before I started Just Press, I always worked in beauty and cosmetics, basically. And I was a graphic designer, worked my way up to an art director. I had a little team under me, and I was doing that for my last 4 years in the corporate world, until I came up with this little idea about starting a design company for weddings and calligraphy. And it was kind of when there weren't that many people. I literally knew like one person that did calligraphy and stuff for weddings, and like obviously invitations have always been a thing. But I thought this just made sense, and I started on the side, And 6 months later, I quit my Manhattan big girl job and started Jess Press, and here I am. And by the time this episode comes out, I would have already celebrated 6 years as a full-time business, which is pretty fucking cool. Oh yes, I know I curse a lot, so that's going to happen, and I hope that you're okay with it. Besides what I do professionally, I'm a mommy to my 2-year-old son Walker. He's delicious and very curly hair, and my puppy dog Doc, which if you're watching on YouTube, I have my Doc pillow that I always have down here with me. And then my husband and I are going to be married 9 years this August. Nick, he is just the best person ever and truly my best friend. And is so cute. And when I was setting this up before, I was like on my MacBook, like setting up the video, and he like took a picture of me, and it was so cute. And I was like, stop, I can't handle you. So that's me. You'll basically always find me with coffee in my hand. And again, if you're on video, I'm holding an iced coffee as we speak. Yum. Shout out Wandering Bear for having such a great cold brew that I can just drink it in my house if I don't have time to run out to an excellent coffee shop. Every episode, we are going to talk about coffee. We're going to talk about where you like to get your favorite coffee, what your favorite coffee of choice is. And other than that, my other fave things are I'm very spiritual. Like I said, I have some crystals behind me. I have 1111 tattooed on my arm. I am not religious per se. I have my faith, but I really am just a very spiritual being. And I live for home renovation, decorating. So when I'm not doing anything that I already named, I'm probably doing that or watching a renovation show, or definitely watching some reality TV like Vanderpump. Yes, we will be talking about pop culture. But to be honest, the real reason that I'm starting this podcast, besides shedding light on small businesses, is to just really be honest about life, which I know I previously said, but so my son is 2. He turned 2 in March, and the past 2+ years of my life have been so monumental in, I don't want to say in negative ways, but kind of negative. And obviously some positivity as well. But so much has happened to me in the past 2 years of my life that has really just transformed me as a person. And I'm really still on this journey to really learning about life and myself and living with discomfort and learning how to move forward. My mom passed away 3 weeks before my son was born. She passed away on February 18th. 2022, and Walker was born March 11th. She was just the best person ever. I have a picture of her behind me. Her name was Joanne, and she battled with endometrial sarcoma cancer for 2.5 years. She was a fighter, like in every way possible. She did treatments 3 different times, chemo and radiation, and then immunotherapy. And at the end, it really happened very quickly. Did not see this coming. Did not expect to lose her, especially in the way that it happened so fast, basically like overnight. And being so incredibly pregnant. Walker was over a week late. So I was already like 10 months pregnant at that point. And yeah, so losing her and then becoming a mother while just losing my mother was not ever how I expected to start life as a mom and with a little babe. And, you know, in those last few weeks leading up to it, I really told myself, like, Jessica, get your shit together. Like, you have to have this baby. Like, you're going to give birth. It's going to be great. And then you're going to go home and, like, move on with life. And, like, this is just what it is. And, like, you know what? That's not what it is. And that's not how life happens. So all of the people who make it out to be, like, so picture perfect, I don't believe you. And I think it's bullshit. So when I actually went into labor, finally, because he was so late, I pushed for an hour and Walker's heart rate dropped, and we had to make some quick decisions, and we ended up having to go into an emergency C-section, which, shout out C-section moms. I have never once been against C-section, and any nonsense that I've ever heard about, like, C-section births is pure nonsense, as I just said. Never ever felt bad about that part, but obviously felt bad about having an emergency C-section where they're literally rolling you into the OR while pumping you with so much anesthesia to numb you so that they can slice you open. Not so fun. Threw up everywhere. Gonna be real blunt. And then Walker, between when we left the OR to then Walker was born 8 minutes later, and he didn't cry, and he was taken right out. Obviously I didn't see him. There was a curtain, and he was taken directly out of the room to the NICU, to like a triage room. But my husband got to he watched my whole C-section, and he got to meet him right away. So over 2 years later, thank you to my therapist, Kara, for being the fucking greatest ever. And I can't imagine life without her all of this time now. I'm still processing, and I still talk about this a lot. And the more moms I talk to, the more relevant this is, and it just makes me feel so much better. But it was really, really, really hard. And I got to meet him a few hours after. I didn't get to see him until then either. And from there, then he was in the NICU, and then I 3 days later ended up getting hit with postpartum preeclampsia. If you don't know what that is, preeclampsia is when your heart rate, not your heart rate, your blood pressure skyrockets, and a lot of women get that before they go into labor, and I actually got it after. I had an incredible pregnancy. Walker was face down the whole time. My blood pressure and every single thing was normal, and shit just happens, and it's kind of unexplainable. So I ended up getting very, very sick. I was in the hospital for a few more days. And I was on a magnesium drip and all this stuff that just makes you feel horrible. They wouldn't let me leave. It was literal prison. Did a lot of trauma therapy and EMDR. Shout out EMDR if you know what that is, to work through those hard times. And yeah, then I came home, and it's oh shit, now I have to be a mom, and I'm grieving, and I just had my stomach cut open, and I was just really sick in the hospital. But oh shit, here's your baby, and now you need to get it together. High anxiety. From there, yeah, like I said, it's been a journey. Unfortunately, my sweet papa, my mom's dad, passed away 6 months later from COVID. And a few months after that, I got hit with postpartum OCD. If you don't know what that is, guess what? I didn't either. And all they talk about is postpartum depression. And guess what? There's a lot of other fucking postpartum issues that OBs don't even know about, because when you bring it up, they have no idea what the fuck you're talking about, which is really sad. And I just want to make it very clear that I am now a huge advocate for women in motherhood, and always was, but now that I am a mom and have gone through these issues and I'm still continuing on this journey of OCD and just grief and trauma, the Jess Press is now a sponsor for Postpartum International. I am so happy to be a part of that in the Climb Out of the Darkness walk, because trust me, when you are in it, you feel like you're never going to get out. And there are times when you are just how am I going to feel like myself again? And something that I'm still learning to be comfortable with is learning that I am not the same person, and it doesn't mean it's a bad thing. And I'm always trying to remember who I am, and I'll never lose that, but it's okay to evolve into someone else. And by the way, I'm totally going to cry in episodes, prefacing that, and that's fine, because if you know me, or you don't need to know me if you're just listening or into anything I talk about. Like I said, we're going to get real and deep, and I'm excited about it. So postpartum OCD, just to give you kind of a background, is when you have scary intrusive thoughts about your child in any way possible, and you think just because it's a thought it's real, and guess what, it's not, it's just a thought. But it's really, really, really hard to get off of that. Anyone who ever says oh, I have OCD, I like things perfect, that doesn't exist. That's not real. It's bullshit. That's not what OCD is. OCD is an actual mental health illness. And if you had told me over 2 years ago that all these things are going to happen to me, I never would have believed you ever. But here I am, and navigating life, even on the hardest days ever, when you just feel like you cannot get out of your head. Guess what? I still got up, took care of my kid, took care of my dog, and ran an entire business. So if I can do it, you can do it too. And that is legit. before I get totally off topic, because I just wanted this to be like a brief little, hey, what up? I'm Jess. Come chat with me and listen to my podcast moving forward. Any small business owner that comes on, I totally want to talk to them about all the things and all of the struggles and through their business and just through their life, and like it's just going to be so fun. And honestly, I'm very excited about it. And I hope you guys are too. I'm always going to start each episode with pulling like a positive power thought card. I love like positivity and powerful messages. They really help me. Affirmations help me. Like these are things that like keep me going. And maybe some fun facts about each person. Fun fact about me: before I even graduated college, I did cake decorating and I worked at the Cake Boss. I was in a couple of background episodes. I have a lot under my belt as an artist, and you'll learn more about me and learn more about all of the people that will be coming on soon. I'm so excited to have my very good friend Diane, who's going to be kicking off my first episode that's going to be launching from DK Events. She is incredible. She is a wedding planner who was probably one of the first people I ever worked with when I started my business, and just recently published in the New York Times. So she's badass. She's been through a lot of shit in her life. She's a fellow anxiety warrior, and I'm pumped to have her here. So let's cheers with a coffee. Or shit, what time is it? I don't know. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, so you can get a beer or champagne too. And can't wait for the next episode. Peace out.